Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the Minipla for Mashin Sentai Series 02 King Express set. I've had this for a little bit and I've been meaning to get to it and I'm finally getting to it. I'm very excited. I really enjoyed the Kiramager set. I thought that did a really great job with that. I even got the special glitter version, which I'll be honest, from pictures doesn't look totally different, but we'll wait till that review happens to make those comparisons. In any case, this is the King Express set. Of course, you have the Mashin Express, and then you have the Smog Jokey, and then together they make King Express. I'm just a big fan of this robot. I think he looks great. The color scheme's really fun. I just love the design of the robot and the kind of shoulder pads and everything. Plus, you have a Dino, can't go wrong there. So I loved the DX version of this. I have a feeling this is going to be even better, just going on the fact that it's going to have more articulation and whatnot. So not too much going on there. Cool pick there on the top. If we open this up, we can see that there are 6 boxes inside. And then from the back of the box, you can see the first 4 are Smog Jokey, and then the last 2 there are Mashin Express. So just so you can get a look at the box here. And again, there is the box breakdown. Pretty much the same thing that's on the back of the box here, to be honest with you. So pretty cool. I would assume all of these are the same. Yeah, not really anything different going on there. Just the numbers. So that's it for the packaging. As you can see, very fun, very colorful. I'm going to get this guy put together and then we'll take a closer look. So here is the set fully stickered and assembled. As you can see, we have 2 different trains, very different in length. I would say it's probably about 3 times. It would take 3 Mashin Express to make one Smog Jokey train. And honestly, it's kind of curved in spots, so it's probably not even as long as it could be. But in any case, I still like Mashin Express. Very cool. I think the blue and the red and the white look really good together. Nice color scheme combination. A little bit of silver accent there. Like the red stripe down the side. The metallic blue, I think, looks really cool as well. So very neat. Have some wheels on the bottom. Not really any wheels on this side, which is surprising, but you have plenty over here on this side. So this does break apart into 2 gems. That's just the one, just like that. And then this one, all you do is flip this down. So make sure that's all the way down. There we go. So that's it. That's the 2 gems. I mean, let's face it. Mashin Express is definitely the simpler out of the 2, so we'll put that off to the side. You also get this giant head for King Express. I love the shades. I always thought that was hilarious. But you can see tons of stickers. But it looks good when you're all done, so pretty cool. So let's go ahead and take a look at Smog Jokey. Nice long train. You can see he's got the metallic purple stripe on this side, which I think looks really cool. I always thought black and purple was a great color scheme. Not too much on this side, mostly because these are going to kind of be the inside of the legs as well as sandwiched together. So to get to the gem mode, you just unpeg the 2 ends like that, and then you just fold these down together and the 2 pieces will peg together with this little peg right here. So there you go. Now that's the front of the gem mode, and if you want it to stand, you'd have to stop there, but these pieces will connect. You can see how there's a little peg right there, and there's little peg holes right here and here. So you just go ahead and peg them on like that. Take this one and peg this on. And there's the full gem. But you can see it doesn't touch the bottom. So because it's so back heavy, it just falls over every time, which is kind of a bummer. Not a huge inconvenience, but if you want to display this in gem mode, you're going to have to lean it against something, or because there's no way to make it stand on its own. I guess maybe if you pulled the heels out, and I'll show you how that works later, that might help, but I still don't know that it would be 100% to make that stand up, but we'll see. In any case, we'll go ahead, we'll take a look at the Smog Jokey configuration here. Alright, so I've separated into the 3 components. Now, I will say the first thing with this, be very careful with this. I don't know why they chose to do it this way, but you can see how it has such a hard edge like that. And the way you connect this is you just pop it in here like this. But then to try to move this around, like if you would just try to move this around, it's because it's so boxy, it really causes problems. And I've gotten some stress marks. I don't know if you can see it. So what I tend to do is if you want, like I'll take it off and then just peg it on like this. But if I want to move it around, I'll take it off, peg it in like this, and then kind of move it through the rest. But you have to be careful because if you hit resistance, you kind of want to pull back. But you can eventually get it to go through. But it's just, I don't know. I mean, the other thing you could do if you wanted to is just like this and peg it in like that. But the problem is then the sticker's on the wrong side. So if you have the forethought to put the sticker on the right side and not listen to the directions, you can just unpeg it. But either way, see, I wish they gave you two stickers because then it wouldn't be a problem. You know, you'd have it on both sides. It wouldn't matter. I would just unplug it and do it like that. But if you wanted it the right side, I start about here and then push it through like that. So there you go. Now you have the chainsaw hand. In this case, it's going to be a tail, though. So you're going to take these two pieces. You're going to peg it together. Now, these two pieces will not peg together, but this actually has a tiny peg hole there. And that's going to peg on like that. So it's not the best connection, but it is what it is. Then you're going to bend this here. So we'll zoom out. And if you've played with the DX toy at all, you know that that just rides along the back. This is going to spin around like this. And unlike the DX toy, there's no like place for it to logically stop, so you just kind of have to guess. About there should be good. And then I think I have these hands connected backwards. That's my fault. I took them off previously and I connected them wrong. So it's just a little ball joint, and you just pop it on. But if you had these connected correctly, I think they stay like this, and then you just flip them around, just like the DX toy. I think I have it on the wrong one. You can see that there's two spots inside. I think you want on this topmost one, because that would make more sense when it's, yeah, because that way it would fold up like that. And then you just take this, and this big peg right here is going to peg in to that right there. So there you go. And then again, that just sits along the back. If you want to put that at an angle, you can. But there you go. Smog Jokey. Mouth opens and closes. Again, you have some mobility there in the arm because that's a ball joint. You have a hinge there, and then the legs can move around. And then you just kind of have to find the right balance for them. I think it looks really cool. Now, we did just see pictures with Minipla Set 3. That's the Gigant Driller. The last box is going to include new feet that actually look like dinosaur feet, like Godzilla feet, something like that. And then all you would do is just pop these off and pop on the new legs, maybe here. I'm not really sure where they're going to connect, but they look awesome. So if you're planning on displaying this in Smog Jokey form, those new legs are going to be really, really cool. And the nice thing is, if you really wanted, you could buy an extra set of boxes 1 through 4. That way you could display it as one as Smog Jokey with the new legs, and then one as King Express. Which, depending on how cheap they go in the aftermarket, I may do. Because honestly, putting these together was very easy, not a ton of stickers. I mean, each box had like 3 or 4 stickers. I think the first box of King Express by far had the most stickers of any of the set. So if you're just putting together a second Smog Jokey, I can't wait to get those new legs because I really think it's going to look really good. And that should be out later this month. So I like Smog Jokey. I think he looks really cool. I'm going to go ahead and transform him back into how we started, like the jewel configuration, and then we'll get into the King Express. Okay, so I have everything here. I've left this the way it is. Now, you can actually pull this down, and then that will reveal an elbow joint for the arm, which is pretty cool. So get that ready. This is pretty much the same. Whoops, that's not right. There we go. That also reveals the elbow. So again, pretty cool there. Now with these pieces, pretty much like the DX, you're just going to pull these down like so. I think they'll come almost all the way to a 90-degree angle, but not quite. And then this you will flip back like this and then spread this open like that. Now they give you a super tiny little head just like they did with Kiramager, just in case for some reason you don't want to bother with the larger one, and that can actually fit inside. Obviously the larger one cannot, but I'm going to take that off and pop on the correct head. I mean, it's really such a difference. I mean, look at that. Look at the difference in size there. It's kind of ridiculous. But they wanted to at least have one that fit inside, you know, so you can pretend, I guess. So this part's right, and then we take this and we peg that onto here. So peg that there, and now the torso is pretty much ready. We'll put that off to the side for a moment. Zoom out. Now we want to come to this. Obviously we want to break these apart. We're actually going to take these completely off. And I'll show you they come back later on, but we're going to spin it around. So this is going to be the new kind of crotch plate here. Now we're going to open this up, and you can see down here, you actually want to disconnect this, and it's a little easier said than done. You kind of, because it's a peg that's pegged in here, so however you can wiggle this out without breaking it. Nope, that's not it. It might actually be easier to take this completely off. So you can do it. I promise. I've done it before. Maybe if I do it like this. Just gotta wiggle it. Wiggle it. There we go. Okay, so that's how that is. You can see that there's two pegs. So for storage, when it's in train mode or in Smog Jokey mode, you want to put it on the inside one, but now you want to move it to the outside one because it's going to be a toe slash foot, I guess. So you can see it's going to give some front toes, and then we can go ahead and connect this piece back on like that. Okay, I'm going to do the other one and be back in a second. Okay, so surprisingly the other one was much easier. And you can tilt them, so if you need like foot tilt or whatever, that is completely rotatable. But you can see here that this is going to be, we can flip up the little skirt. Here's your hip joint out to the side. You have a swivel above the knee. This is going to be your knee joint. And then you have that little bit of ankle tilt there. So we'll move this up just to give them a little bit of movement. And tilt those feet. So something like that. Then you're going to go ahead and just peg that in right there. Simple. Now with these pieces, they have you put these extra little, where the heck is it? Here you go. These little clips. They have you put these clips in. They never really say what they're for, so you're thinking to yourself, well, what the heck am I supposed to do with these? They actually come up and they clip here. You can see on the side of the like white part of the torso. So that just clips in there, and then they hang down as like skirts. So do this. Now I will say when you clip them on, it's kind of a pain to get them off. So make sure that's what you want. You could always just leave them connected on here if you'd rather. You don't have to clip them on, but that just, it frees up mobility and just kind of makes it look a little bit more cohesive as a robot. Then you're going to take these. You can see you have a spot right there, which is going to peg in right here. And then that does give a shoulder joint, as you can see. So that moves that around. This piece moves around too. Let me zoom out a bit here. This piece moves around, but it does give you like a full shoulder. So, and then you're going to do the same over here with this one. Peg that in, and then same deal. Gives you the shoulder. So there you go. He looks great. Really, really, really like this. Of course, you have the swivel here. You have the in and out of the shoulder. You have the bicep swivel. You have the elbow joint. You have a little bit of movement here in the hand like that. This is one solid piece. You do have the opening mouth for the dinosaur, T-Rex, Godzilla, monster, whatever you want to call it. But otherwise, same thing. Bicep swivel, elbow, a little bit of side-to-side movement there. You have a waist swivel, you have the hip, and then everything else I showed you in the lower body. So very, very cool. Really love this. Looks really good. Tons of articulation. Obviously way more than the DX version, but that's always going to be the case. And then, of course, the head's on a ball joint, because that's how that connection was made. So I love them. I really do. Like I said, I might, depending on price, get a second Smog Jokey and then give him the giant legs, because I kind of want to see both versions, because I love this. And also trying to change back and forth, because you have to like pop the legs in and out and connect everything differently. It's kind of a pain in the butt to go back and forth. So I might just make one of each. But really very cool. Really, really like the look of this. I mean, I always thought the form was neat just because I love the color scheme. I think the black and purple work really well together. And then you have the white, blue, and the red. Plus you have red throughout, which kind of unifies it. So I really like it. I've always liked this robot, and I think the Minipla just super did it justice. So I really like this set. I don't really have too much to complain about. The only thing I can think of to complain about is that chainsaw piece, where I said you just kind of have to be careful how you move it around, because if you try to push past resistance, you will probably cause stress marks, as I did it first. But other than that, it's really great. The toes are a little difficult to get in and out, but again, that's not a problem. It's just kind of the nature of how they're not easily grabbable. But if you take that side piece of the leg off, it makes it easier, and then you can pop everything right back on. So I love the set. I've always liked the robot. The color scheme's great. Stickers really not too bad. That top piece in the head for Mashin Express, easily the worst. Everything else really easy. Like maybe 5 stickers per box. Really not that big a deal. So I think it's a great set. Great articulation all around. Just, it was a lot of fun to build. So I can't recommend it enough. Blah, blah, I can talk, I promise. So anyway, definitely check this out if you're a fan of the robot or just a fan of Minipla in general. I think this is one you're going to want to add to your collection. But yeah, that's going to do it for the video. So please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.